excellent. Hello, world. Pod layer proof of concept demo team back at it again. We are going to be doing some experiments with how to teach the curriculum material, and we've been deconstructing the old way, which was a 3-act structure, into actually trying to do each one of those acts, which is a different skill set in emoji reading, on a different day. So the normal 3 things to kind of focus on are collaging and associating read samples and images of them doing the cues with the descriptive words that they mean. So whenever we actually hear that descriptive word, everyone who knows it associates that with actual visual images that are shared. Okay, so that's kind of a fundamental that is done always, but it's like the bedrock. Then intermediate, layer on top of that is the quizzes, blind test quizzes. We have been doing them weekly, but we're experimenting with a bit longer. This last one was 3 months. I think after this one, we're gonna try a month or 2 and see if we can't find that sweet spot. But anyway, those are done under blind test conditions, and we'll be doing more of those in the future, but not as frequently as we've been doing them. We're gonna try to test out also reducing fatigue and getting to be where there's more energy for a given quiz. And then a third thing is live reading, which we're probably gonna be doing here in a few weeks in the kind of the gap between the end of this purification review, collaging, and when the semester program is up and running. Somewhere in there we'll do maybe 1 or 2 sessions where we spend the entire 90 minutes doing live reading. That should be exciting too, because we have not done that feat yet. But Jali and I do that all the time, so I actually think that 90 minutes can be done from time to time where you're just reading constantly. Okay, a reading while socializing, a social read for 90 minutes. Okay, tonight we're focusing on collaging, a special collage of purifications of this year, updates to previous cases that have been worked on and their latest status. All right, I am Naiji Coach.
I am Jailene.
I'm Naiji Mitchell.
I'm Naiji Ben.
And this is Naiji Glenn.
All right, take it away.
Okay, going back into the current purifications document and picking back up where we left off in our last session, which is right here. Okay, so we'll start off with Coach, and Coach, whenever you're starting.
All right, and same protocols. Any new kind of update, we will get into it a little bit and make a CNC, compare and contrast. Repeats of that same kind of update, we can just go through a lot more quickly. All right, Shiny Colin O'Donoghue, and he was down as a Naiji, a combination that he has a bit more of an angularness than some Jaini tend to have. And also, I think the show I know him from, that I watched with Jailene, he's played a bit more of like a feral, slinky kind of psychological player, and I think I let that influence me. And also just kind of how he carries himself. He has himself set watchful. This is one thing that's interesting, is you can be a tower, say a Jai Alpha tower, that is watchful. The emoting is unaware while being very watchful. Robert Downey Jr., for example, is a classic case of that. His emoting is unaware, authentic, and so forth, but he is very in tune to his environment, very alert to the ongoings. Okay, but difference is, I believe his eyes are receptive, and I believe the mouth, although he knows he's setting himself, I don't think he really knows exactly what the mouth is doing. Still, it's receptive to me. The one on the left looks like it's holding its ground. The one on the right just looks like it's holding a tone, not just, but as compared to pushing it outward. Generally, I also get a calmer energy as compared to dissatisfaction.
Okay, Zaini Caitlin Stacy, who was she read as before?
I believe Jaini.
Okay. All right, so the other nest tower, something that she has
I believe she was also read as an Isai at one point.
was she? Okay.
I think
okay,
she's one of the ones
helpful.
that I went back and forth between the Jaini and Isai.
Okay. Was there a particular reason why it's short?
Well, the length of the face made me think tower. And then the broadness of the smile had a sort of semi-Cheshire cat thing going on, so I thought maybe Nizai. And I honestly went back and forth between those two and just did not flex my is it a Zaini part of my lens strong enough.
Okay.
Also think just the affability
Yeah, I was gonna say she has an affable way about her, poised but affable.
I wasn't sure.
Poised and affable.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't sure if that was like Jai Alpha kind of groovy Jai, or if that was like warm macking Ni's eye. You know, it says gather.
Yeah.
Neither.
She does have that overall calming energy. It's something that you notice with her. And also a social, socially graceful way about her.
Socially oriented game.
Yeah, socially, and it seems to be localized around her mouth when you really look at it, even though it's very
Yeah, the one on the left's easier.
Captivating.
But the one on the right, you can kind of it's tricky because her mouth is big, as a smile in a very positive way, but the cheeks aren't moving, and also it's thin. But that mustache plate, there's not much flexation in that small space between the nose and the upper lip. It's kind of like a flat banner.
Yeah, and with the Nizai versus Zaini difference, she does have a veil over her eyes kind of quality. The eyes don't just like pop out in a sort of sort of an exposed sort of way.
Right.
Yeah. They do have a veil of coolness to them. Yeah. Right.
My turn. All right. Genii Columbus short.
Yeah, we had that was Naiji, and I think probably his careers threw me a little bit.
Yeah, dance choreographer, it says, I think, and music artist. I don't know if we have many Genii doing that kind of thing, but I mean, they are close to the Naiji, and some of the other emojis that do that, I'm sure. So there you go. He does, like, particularly in the picture on the left, he's kind of holding his face pretty still, and has a watchful sort of gaze. But you still see a lot of energy on the mouth, even in that picture. Like, you can be kind of drawn to the eyes a little bit, but you can really see it in the right picture when he smiles. The moting clearly does go into the eyes, and it's like really just G alpha smile, classic.
Yeah. Got that lion quality.
It's not like the kind of cagey smile, more cagier smile that Naiji have. It's like just totally like given into it.
Yeah. Sides also seem to have them like going underwater quality.
Yeah, they do have a little bit of going underwater quality, like a washful, but they're going underwater a little bit. Yeah, that's a good point.
He's also got a pretty long face too, I think. Fairly.
That's IG. Like as far as like the going underwater, there's also the counterpart about going out and feeling at ease. His compared to like a Naiji or even a Baiji, there's more just an at ease at the G. With both the Jez hunters, they have good G, but you can tell there's like their eyes are kind of watching what their G is doing and making sure it's not getting out of line. Where he's sort of just fully G'ing and just being comfortable with that experience, which comes from being a discernment lead and an objective in this case.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Z, KC roll.
Had him down his knee side, the other Nazez.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see in the cheeks they look rather sheer. Not really emoting, but...
yeah, a little broad.
Yeah, broadness, the physicality can be kind of difficult, especially in the picture on the left. Picture on the right, I mean, I can see more of like the Jai and the Nai. Picture on the left, she's more like doing, you know, her eyes are sort of, her V is more engaged and so forth. I definitely do see that, like, in the picture on the left, I mean, it almost looks like that could be an Nizai smile, but it's like, I mean, you can still see the Jai and aware. Like, you can see the emphasis on the lower lip, which makes it not Cheshire Cat. And then you can also see, like, the eyes, they don't have like a distinctly natural state quality. They look more altered state. It's a bit subtle. I mean, the picture on the left, like, it does really look like her eyes are engaged, but it's like, it doesn't look like it's like that signal is momentum.
That's a very good distinction to point out because she does have a good amount of perk up in her game.
Yeah.
I perked a bit.
Yeah, if anything, that's like the most, like, besides like the physicality, that's like the most difficult thing I have. The picture on the left. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can still see that piercing.
Ah.
Remember her? She's the mom / lover.
Oh yeah.
Of the Nazi dude.
Okay.
All right, so this is Jaini Yvonne Zima.
Yeah, I had all the Zima sisters down as Naiji, but they're actually kind of cagey feral Jaini. They're awesome.
Yeah, so I'm noticing right off the bat that the emoting goes more higher than just, up to the brim line. It goes into the eyes, and it's got a poignant quality to it. And the mouth, especially on the picture on the right, I feel like that looks very unaware. It doesn't have that same sort of look that a G mojo or G user tends to have with their smile. It has that kind of like I don't know, like yin underwear quality basically that Jai tends to naturally just have with itself. And the eyes, they don't have that piercing Nai quality to them like the way Naiji tend to have. Although I think she probably does have good developed vibe, but it's modulation for her. And other than that, yeah, she seems more like she's more calming and like at ease with like equilibrium in the sense that Naiji naturally aren't like that. They're not adaptive and they're not towers, so they don't naturally exude that sort of same energy. Yeah, and the eyes, they also look a little bit more buoyant too. Although they're very very strongly Jai heavy. I feel like they got a lot of.
All the sisters have a bit of a cat-like quality.
Yeah.
D-line.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, this one, Visai Michelle Waterston. I think I went back and forth on her trying to figure out which G alpha she was, but I couldn't figure out what it was because I couldn't fit it. I was like, she has G, and she's objective. It's got to be a G alpha, but it wasn't. It was she's one of the rare Visai we have in mixed martial art. Okay, so distinguishing her from the G alpha, the cheeks don't move. The cheeks don't move, and she's using G. Really, it's pretty obvious once I just got to the fact that it was an MMA fighter. But for the longest time, I was trying to figure out those elements. She's objective. She has G. What's going on here? And also the brightness of the eyes. I was like, those eyes aren't just like bright for a pilot. Those are actually full on, gather bright. So gather bright eyes, sheer cheeks, and the Cheshire cat smile that is big, like on the left, but doesn't go into the cheek area, and the bright eyes have that very clear bright because there's like a diffuse bright of knee and a clear bright. There's more of a clear camera lens bright.
She also riffs a little bit of Sohee Lee. She's from the fitness bubble.
Interesting.
Cool. Also, has she been read as a Visai?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Have to check her out. Vaiji Amy Chua.
Down as Naiji.
Okay. So she has a sort of, I don't know, I think maybe because of because of having more knee, she has a more almost cagey look.
Exactly. She's almost it's almost slinky.
Yeah.
But it's like.
But I can see the density of the pupils when you really look at it, and that's looks at Vi when you look at.
Conor McGregor has that, for example.
That energy, that cunning around the eyes, or.
In this case, cagey. Cagey, yeah, cagey.
Right?
Yeah, she's very, very cagey. Like I said, I've always makes me say slinky. But it's like a cagey on point. Yeah. Let's say Conor McGregor has a few other Vi Alpha that we talked about have that cagey on point. Actually, more than I first realized. It's really, really cool. But yeah, you can see that it's dense and has that knee halo.
Yeah.
And that skin quality, which I'm still looking for the right word for it.
Yeah, she does have. Yeah, that's the word we have right now. We're looking for a better one.
Can that one?
Yeah.
All right. Zai. I can't quite read it because I'm on my phone. Can someone read the name?
Eddie Rochester Anderson.
Any Rochester Andersons, thank you.
Cool. And this is I had him down as Nijai. He's a very
I
affable.
can see the picture. That should be the name for you. Had him down as what? I'm sorry.
Nijai. He's very affable.
Apple Nijai. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think I remember some of these pictures being in a Nijai collage somewhere along the line. Anyway, he is in the alpha, so you can see the bright dancing eyes, but the emoting is not. I mean, he's doing, particularly in the right picture, like very pronounced emoting, but it's not really going up the face. It doesn't actually go past the midline readily, and his mouth is like set, like a pursed in its G way, where they like it's not that's not really receptive. It's like kind of pursed like a, I don't know, like a G-Zai sort of maneuver.
Yeah, it's doing.
It's very aware.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, the energy, the emotive energy is going out. Exactly. Yeah.
This
And
kind of brings
on-
the whole thing about you can be a very logical person and not be logic based. Just you can be a very empathetic person and be logic based. So that's kind of important distinction. So him, I would say he's a very warm person. You know what I mean? And like that's his personality. He's a very warm person who is logic based. So it's kind of cool to see because sometimes you can have those biases that that much warmth. It couldn't be coming from logic based, but it
Oh yes,
very
it
much
can.
Yeah, and even the picture on the right, you can still see the stone face quality in the cheeks.
Yep.
Right then.
Oh yeah, Jani Aki Ella.
had him down as Naiji. He plays serious a lot. Also, I think sometimes plays samurai and whatnot. I think I like the bias me.
I can see that.
Shiny samurai.
Yeah, he does seem but yeah, like especially on the picture on the left, I can see that like I don't know, it does seem like a rather calming signal. It doesn't, and also the eyes look more like the way he's serious, like in the eyes. I mean, it looks more like Vi is being pronounced than Nai when it comes to like worldview powers. And he also has good knee too. So like a lot of actors, they might play a more serious role but have good knee oftentimes. So that can almost look like Nai, but if you look closely, there is concern, there is dancing. And then being Jaini, we can see he's subjective, he's sub-rom. But I don't see like the break point like in the at the brim line between the discernment that you have with perception. It looks like one continued face throughout the entire face.
Nice.
All right, this is Nizai Willie Ames.
Kind of same situation to Rochester, except this time it's an actor and a white boy. I had him down as a Nijai because he's very affable.
Ah, yes. Okay. So, yeah, I think it does make quite a bit of sense. He does have that affable smile and everything, but it does look quite Cheshire to me. Kind of rips a little bit of like a Justin Timberlake, but it's not unaware, the smile. It's very much aware, basically. And the cheeks, they don't look like they're moving at all in both pictures.
And not saying he's not, but kind of like specifying this riff, like affable. You know what it is? A lot of times the G of the Nizai and also the Vizai can have a bit of this like mischievous quality. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But there's a riff that actually they really don't use that signal that much necessarily, or at least in what they do in photos and things you see. Like him and also Rochester, they were doing a lot of G, but I don't know, it seemed warmer to me than mischievous might have. Maybe it's just bias in my hand, but I'll just throw it out there because I think that is one thing that threw me. That mischievous thing that I sometimes look for in the Zez Gather, I didn't.
I don't know. He sees.
Yeah, I know now.
Mischievous.
But something, like I said, maybe something about him it threw me.
Maybe a little less mischievous than others.
He seems a lot more like, I don't know, like like warm in a way, like more like he's genuine in a sense, not like full on Jim Carrey, but sort of like a little bit.
No, it's
more
exactly. Jim Carrey's like extreme on the other end, where you're like he's
Yeah.
G'ing all the time. You're like, God, it's, you know what I mean? I don't really take it
I
seriously.
think that might be a strongly associated with the male knees eye rips, but I think the knees eye females also have a variation of that too, in their own.
That's a very good point. That does change quite a bit on the gender there.
Yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm seeing the cheeks. They don't seem like they're moving at all. In the picture on the left, I think it's more easily notable, but then in the one on the right, you can definitely see he's smiling more there, but the cheeks still look like they're not moving very much at all. And the eyes, they kind of have this sort of like doe-ish kind of look to them, sort of like I care, but that's G there, right? That's not Jai. Like that's still very much like I'm smiling and I'm like very warm and stuff, but I'm still.
Yeah. I mean, Will Smith does that look a lot.
Yeah.
Like the knee's like I see you, and the G's like and I like you.
Yeah, that's good. He's tricky though, yeah.
Am I? It's me.
Mhm.
G by Justine Kish had her as G Nye. I'd not gotten quite familiar enough with the ladies in MMA to see that distinction, but when I took more time, I could see it has the Lionic of a G alpha, but tighter in the eyes, although quite bright. You can see she has a good amount of knee. So rather bright eyes, so a larger halo, but that halo difference is something I've been honing in on more. It's been very, very helpful. Because sometimes you see bright, and I don't know, sometimes, you know, I think we all have a little prejudice. When I hear bright, I go towards the stimulus register, but I tend to go a little towards V first. And that's something I have to watch in myself. And so this technique of like honing in on the halo, the center focus and the halo around it, that's kind of helped me when I see bright, I start going to this as my secondary step before I start veering towards anything. I think we all have those little kind of natural veer points, and it's good to have something to, you know, kind of keep you level. Also, more on the right, but you can see a little slightly more yang tensioning in the mouth area as compared to a G9.
Yeah, I could definitely see the tension there.
She by Angela Magana.
Same thing.
Same thing. So yeah, you can see that tightness in the corners of the mouth. Also the density of the pupils and the halo. Although she has a little bit less of a halo than the last one.
Right.
Yeah.
Shiny Olivia Ching.
Back in the day, had her as Naiji. I think we've been talking about Johnny for a while now, but back in the day, I did have her down as that, so we should mention it.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, she does, I think, pretty clearly look like a shiny. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
There's something about it that maybe looks like.
I'm going to throw this out. I've something I throw out there, and this could be just me, but maybe something that other people takes a benefit from, is I've noticed that I have to, with the Asiatic look, the eyes, the how they're more narrow, not mistaking that for a bit more of a natural narrowness of a hunter.
Yeah, like they look cunning.
Hunting, and they have that naturally sort of like squinted. You know what I mean? It's, as opposed to just being, you know, hooded. Obviously, hooded is subjective. It's almost squinted. And so,
that can actually be a little bit of a stereotype with him.
No, for sure. And I think I'm getting better. The more Asian samples I'm looking at, it gets better. And I don't think it's all the time. Just every now and then, I think that does pop up. So.
Yeah. So I was actually just gonna say that I think she does have like a kind of like odd, like cunning look about her. I don't know. Like it's not like Nye, but I mean,
no, she's
I can see I see her shiny signals. I mean, she does have the warm, elongated face in both pictures. You can clearly see the energy. Even though she's like doing like a look, but there's always energy on her mouth in both pictures. It's not really focused on the eyes even when she's like looking right at you. And yeah, the mouth. It's not G. She's not Jean in either picture. It's like just the classic like there. She's like holding her space. And then the one on the right, it's more like she's just like almost not even paying attention to her emotive expression much. It's just kind of just sort of hanging there.
Oh, just
I think she also has a
real quick, Glenn. I'll turn back to you. Is something you alluded to there, Mitchell? I think it's also worth noting on a ethnicity basis. Is that I've noticed this with actually both the Xi Alpha. We saw it here with her Xi, and also that Xi back above male Aki, but also the Xi V in music. I've noticed, for example, poise is prized, I think, a bit more as a general character trait to have. And so I've noticed that the towers, the Xi Alpha, tend to actually have a good amount of Ni or Vi. Either one's applicable, but they tend to have more use of that than, for example, some you would see same samples in the West. Like the just sort of wildness of Xi, I've noticed is often tempered with the poise. And not that say Xi Alpha from Europe and the United States don't have that, but they tend to turn it on and off a bit more. There tends to be like a consistently held poise with the Xi Alpha from the Asiatic backgrounds.
Yeah. I remember you saying that about some like the models too and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too, Coach. The poise.
The Xi V models.
She definitely seems like she probably has a lot of poise, and which is why she was thought to be a huntress. Because it makes a lot of sense.
And it's a different way because, for example, I would say Beyonce has a lot of Ni, very strong Ni, but she doesn't carry herself the same way, or like Madonna. Madonna also has a lot of Ni. But the way they carry themselves versus a lot of these popular Xi V singers from the Asian markets, they carry themselves differently, where they kind of keep their poise on, and it's like kind of consistently there. Different way of doing it, because I think that's kind of brings the thing of like, is one better than the other? I don't think so. I think you can modulate effectively by toggling quickly back and forth between them. You keep toggling. That seems to be more how the West does it. Or you kind of pick like a good amount to add to the soup, and you keep that amount sort of consistently there, making small adjustments as needed for the situation. So I don't think anyone's better, but it's interesting cultural difference as a trend on how people
Indeed it is.
Mm-hmm.
Who's up?
Shivai Manu.
Bennett?
Yeah, Bennett.
He was down as G9.
Cool.
They slayed.
I think we covered that with the ladies, but maybe not with the males.
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, I can definitely see this G Alpha. That really stands out to me. Helmet of carrying. But the eyes, yeah, I mean, they can be a little bit tricky, especially with actors. I mean, actors, they have good men's development typically. So, and then it's especially hard, compared to literal actors, interpretive actors, and so forth. But like in the eyes, I guess what distinctly makes it look more like Vi eyes to me is, I guess they just look more concretely pointed. Like Nye, it kind of just looks more dreamy, but one of the reasons is because it's less, like, it just has a quality of being less pinpointed whenever it's being activated. It looks more like it's sort of floating, around in its own like HUD screen, as opposed to being like pinpointed on like a particular detail or a particular piece of information. So like his HUD screen just looks more pinpointed to me, just looking at the signal in his eyes.
Yeah, for me, kind of saying it was kind of like a general riff thing. It was actually, again, working on the fitness bubble. It kind of ripped me up quite a few people in that bubble. The same reason.
Cool.
All right, so this is Xi V Samira Wiley.
You had her down as Jaini.
All right, so yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Her face, right off the bat, just seems more like V, glossy, kind of like soft, supple kind of quality, as compared to like the knee, which it has the more Gumby quality to it, and her eyes also seem more concrete as compared to dancing, laser-like in the way that she's able to just focus and hone in with the like on the concrete environment in that sort of sense. Yeah, I mean, that's basically, I think she kind of riffs a little bit maybe of some other Xi V that I think I read. I think there's one on the Flash. I think maybe Beyonce a little bit too. I don't know.
His sister, especially.
Yeah,
I've seen
Solange,
her,
yeah.
like, Solange has a lot.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, everything else seems to be pretty much similar though.
Yeah.
Xi alpha, unifield face, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different given that she's a Xi V, not a Xi E though.
Yeah, good eye.
Yeah.
Got a good slinky action. Okay, Vijay Frank Fritz had him down as Nijai. And I think probably, obviously, Jez Gather pops out. But I actually read, oh, it's not here, but on the show, the other guy who's actually more the main character is a Nijai, and they're like good friends. And so when I read him as Nijai, I kind of let that weigh on me that his good buddy Frank Fritz was most likely going to be a Nijai too. I saw Jez Gather, plus the fact that the other guy was Nijai, and I think that's kind of what threw me there. It's kind of funny. It's almost like talking about bull riding. So I think the reason why that bull threw me was I didn't move my hips at the right time. But anyway, Jez Gather, all that stuff is the same. The main difference is going to be the eyes, more clarity. Although you can see, like the one on the right, he has a good amount of Nye slinky. And then one thing that doesn't change even with the Nye is that different yangness in the skin. Overall, its texture, its fascia throughout, as compared to a Nijai. So what Glenn was saying before, the soft supple versus the ripple. He has a bit more of the soft supple.
What's that show about American pickers? Is that like?
Yeah, I don't really watch that much. I think they go around and they go to like people who have like their hoarders, and they go through and like check their stuff and try to bargain and make deals with them to get unusual things to sell from their shop. They like sell a collection of interesting items that they gather through their road trips.
Oh, I see. I thought it was maybe something like a farming show or something like that.
Yeah, the picking is actually going to people who have like a bunch of stuff that's old in their house they're trying to get rid of, and having an eye to being able to like look at the item and go, you know what, actually that's a rare item. You know what I mean? And then they try to get those items.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. All right. Nizy Robert Horton.
Ham down is G9, broader face, affable, as you can see.
Okay.
You remind me a little bit of Charlton Heston or something.
Yeah, he does. He does have that broad, and sort of like all American kind of vibe too, affable. Okay, so differences though that you see is so if it's on the eyes, the very and also the bifield face. So the eyes are doing something different than the rest of his face at all times, and he doesn't have any sort of gauzy or veil quality, not gauzy, but like veil quality over his eyes element. His expression, he is, he's affable. It's not going above the midline. It's neutral here, and here is his natural state on the right-hand side. With the bracing from Z, he's subjective as opposed to objective. He doesn't have that, like, his eyes are like, have this soulful quality.
Like that slack quality, not the pucker.
Yeah, exactly. And his lower lips has more energy in his lower lips. And his eyes have this soulful quality, but it's not, that full-on open.
It's not coming from out. It's actually the 9 Xi combined as compared to like radiating up like a G9 would have it.
Yeah, radiating up from the mouth area and upward. Yep.
Nizai Larry Matthews.
Down as the knee Xi.
Should I do this one or?
I guess we already done these.
Yeah, we've already done this.
We've done quite a few Nizai.
Ziny Robert Don.
I think there's quite a few of these coming up. I think this is the first one today. They had them down as Xi.
Okay.
And I'll say why, as a general theme. One is just that the Ziny can be tricky because they're easy to project onto. That's why, for example, you see them in fashion modeling. But also, especially in comedy, is this rattled tower riff. And you can see he kind of is giving like, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this, that kind of energy. And actually, both Zai and Jai can give off that. Not sure how the tower's grooving on this. I shouldn't say I feel. I don't want to throw it to the value-based realm automatically, semantically speaking, but kind of like the, I'm not sure how this is going. Yeah, he kind of on the left has like, I'm not sure how this is going. And then the one on the right, tower not happy or not okay, if that may be a better way of saying it, not okay with how it's going. So left, how's this going? Not sure if it's going well. And on the right, I don't think it's going well. And so separating that from a values-based kind of bristling or wobbliness.
All right.
Is that
So, oh, go ahead, Coach.
Oh, I was going to say, the reason I took a little time there is we're about to see, I think, several samples of this.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. So on the picture on the right, yeah, I mean, it definitely does seem like he's, you know, he's sort of worked up. I think part of that, this looks like it's from like a performance or something.
It is, yeah.
And
One on the right.
I mean, I imagine they didn't just like take a picture of him when he was actually this worked up. But anyway, so but it's like the expression I get from him is still very like inflappable and sort of almost like blank looking. I mean, like, because I can see he's, you know, he's angry, like the eyes, like the emotion he's sort of feeling and expressing. I can see it, but it's not like radiating, like the emoting itself isn't like radiating out his entire face. Like I can see like his sort of like state, but I can't see the emoting like actually radiating into the cheeks and the eyes. It's just sort of like I can see his mood, but not the emoting in that area.
That's a very distinction.
And then picture on the left, it sort of looks like, I mean, smiling, and there's a, you know, there's a good amount of emoting there, but it's like the smiling, it you know, it has like an impact on the cheeks, but it doesn't have an emotive impact. What it's doing is it's really just moving the cheeks upward a bit. It's like making the eye sort of jolt upward, but still maintain its presence in the cheeks. So
Good.
that's the main distinction between shiny and ziny, I'm saying.
All right, this is Nizai Robert Haggis.
Yeah, affable type. I had him down as a Nijai, so kind of cover that riff.
Right.
Yeah.
I was actually one that covered the one too. So yeah.
Yeah. Cheshire. All right, and this is going to be another one of the ziny Ron Glio had down as a ziny, tower long, very affable. So one is the affability, but also critically as a comedian, like throwing like, you know, he'd come into class and something was zany would happen, he would wig out. Basically like Towers wigging out. It's funny. I don't make this rule, but apparently when Towers wig out, it makes for good comedy. And so it's used in so many genres. I'm getting a little more used to the humor of Zai, Ni, wigging out, that's not like a values-based freaking out. It's kind of like Sheldon from Big Bang. Danger, danger, danger. You know what I mean? That's actually a logic-based alarm going off. And so the alarmness is not really like a values-based emoting. It's just it's a heightened tower alert system. And so setting off the towers is apparently funny.
You know what? It makes me think about like the Naiji and our form of humor. I find that a lot of people laugh when like Naiji, I think, like notice something like, what's up with that? You know, and then people will just laugh automatically at the fact that you know, like you notice that sort of thing, right? The what is it referred to as? Sort of like the weirdnesses of like the ongoings of the way the world works and stuff like that.
Definitely. And so I think the different comedians actually all had different gifts that way, because you kind of like almost get like a ride with them. So say the Nye Alpha, they point out these like absurdities.
Yeah, that's the word.
And then you're there with them, and you're like, aha, that is funny. With the Towers, the Ziny, Nez Towers, mostly in comedy, the Ziny and the Ziny is when they get rattled, you get rattled. And apparently that's fun. It's fun to actually kind of like live with them going through it and seeing how their tower kind of, you know, gets impacted by it. And it kind of does it to your tower as you hear them doing it or see them in a scene. So anyway, pretty fascinating. But it's the Jai for me, naturally I kind of associate that with levels of being I don't know, excited or alarmed. But Zai, although it's unflappable, does have these alarms and excitements to it. And it's used a lot.
Mm-hmm. Red alert.
Exactly. You can have a very alarmed, even worked up, unflappable power. So that's kind of a brain teaser, but that does in fact happen.
Eastside Bill Mummy.
Down's knee shy.
Okay, I think we covered this
Yeah.
one.
Same thing.
Nizai Don most.
Caesar the most.
He's Robert Clary.
Same thing there.
Jaime Matthew Labiorto.
Yeah, nicely done. This actually is new. He was down as a knee shy, so I don't think we've done that distinction.
Okay, so Nijai. Yeah, I'm noticing his face seems a little bit more longer than it would be for a Nijai. And he's got the unifield face, and the eyes, they don't pop out quite as much. The mouth does a lot more, so I feel like I'm drawn more to the mouth. And I don't think it's just because necessarily the mouth is smiley and big and the eyes are small. The mouth kind of like, and especially the lower lip, it kind of pops out a little bit more so. And yeah, that emoting, it just looks very, it looks very genuine. It looks very open. It looks very big, and it looks very, looks like it's very going all the way up the length of his face into the eyes.
Actually, I don't think it's actually even necessarily like a weird sample. I think he actually looks fairly classic Chinese. This is one of those kind of learning things where it's often not technical. Is he starred in a show, Little House on the Prairie, where he was the love interest of the young main character who was a Naiji. And so I think I kind of wanted to make them a Nijez couple because they were kind of a famous little kids couple back in the day. But they were actually both sub-roms. But when I stopped trying to make them be Nijez, so it would be like, say ideal inspirational, the fact his face is longer and everything that Glenn just said became so obvious. But a lot of times you can be looking right at the answer. If you're trying to make something else fit, you can easily get in the way of it.
He kind of riffs a little bit. I feel like I was reminded a little bit of Ralph Macchio a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys see that.
Yeah.
Especially the one on the right for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little bit of like that. The squintiness, the apple squinty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, this is me. Same thing. Johnny, Mike, Looky Lind. Yeah.
Nizai Ben Jones.
Down knee shy. It's very affable, but it's going sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's sideways like an equal sign, you know? It's like...
Ziny Dan somethingman?
Frischman.
Frischman.
Frischman?
Down as Johnny.
Yeah.
Nijai Tina Yaders.
Actually, I don't know if we've done this one, the female. I had it down as a Vijay. I think, I don't know why I did that. I really don't know why I did that because she looks Nijai to me here. I'm gathering more than likely that maybe I thought her role in the show was maybe something that reminded me of roles Vijay tend to play. I don't know. But the eyes don't look that clear to me. They look more diffuse. But anyway, she was down as Vijay. So you want to do that one?
Yeah, sure thing. I mean, yeah, I can definitely see Jez Gather, like the Jez Gather apple cheeks, and the eyes look very bright to me. But yeah, I mean, it just in general, comparing knee and the eyes can be kind of challenging. Or there's very often the question of like whether you think, you know, like with any sets of like comparisons, there's always the question of like, is this like I'm seeing, like I think I'm seeing, but like slightly different,
Right.
And because like you know, with like an actress, like the alpha actresses, I mean, yeah, I think, you know, she does look like a Nijai to me, but very oftentimes you might think in the back of your head, you know, what if this really is V and they just have, you know, very good interpretive power development or something. So, but yeah, I mean, I see the dancing, the diffuseness, the more like ethereal nature of the knee in the eyes.
And also, what this is too, but there's also, like I mentioned, a slight less comfortability overall than with the V counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
all the adaptives, the V counterpart as compared to the knee seems just to be a little more at ease in the environment. She seems very happy enough.
Yeah, it's like the way it looks at you, it just looks more nervous, the more like kind of
a little more nervous.
it's vibrating. I don't know.
Yep.
Right, this is Ziny Josh Saviano. I think Ziny, right?
Yep. The big smiling Ziny.
Yeah, but it's localized.
That makes so much sense now.
Same thing, Ziny, Grant Shaw, and also he does a lot, like on the right, a lot of tower, like what? Like in Murphy Brown. Murphy Brown's an IZ, and she's always breaking all the rules, and he's like her editor, and he's always, or something like that. He's always got to deal with her, you know, going off and just doing things her independent way. He's like, what? So every episode, you know, he has some moment. He's like, what? So Zy Tower saying what is funny.
Vijay Carey Michelson.
Same thing with the others. Head down as Vijay.
Okay. Mitchell, you're up.
Ziny Tony Robinson.
I don't know if we've covered this. We did it with the Zhani to Ni Zhai. This is the other side of that equation. He was down as Ni Zai. I think I let his older picture influence me. I should have kind of factored in more how age can, you know, round a face more. On the younger one, it's a little easier to see that looks like a Zine. But seeing that the design is on the left picture is a bit more challenging.
Interesting.
Yeah, makes sense.
I mean, one thing I noticed in both pictures is there is a lot of energy on the mouth. He's definitely like doing like there's like
His smile almost looks
expression. Like I'm not really drawn to the eyes in either picture. Like they're sort of
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for. I'll just say secondary, but dude.
They're not leading the dance that Maneuvers is doing.
No, they're not. They're not. They don't. They're not drawn to them when looking at his face. Yeah. And I mean, we already got Azurb, so obviously, yeah, it's localized demoting. And yeah, his face is pretty roundish looking in some ways. And that, I mean, I guess
The calm energy helped me on that.
He's also got a little bit more finer features than Nizai would, I think.
Yeah.
The chin,
yeah, I mean, more
kinda
calming than
tucks in.
uplifting.
Yeah.
Actually, helped me that a little bit was John Oliver. How, you know, he's
Yeah.
tiny, but his face, as he's gotten older, he's gotten a bit more round. So the way this one has gone is a bit similar to how he's developed.
I also think like the camera angle can kind of play a role when mojo reading, because like on the picture on the left with him, can we scroll up again just to like you can see it's sort of pointed from more like a downward angle, and it's sort of such that you see more like and that combined with the way he's smiling, you see like more of like the just more of the I'm not sure how to describe it. Like you see more, the lower part of the face, I guess, looks a little more pronounced, I guess. Just the way it's angled.
What's the word? Not foreshadowing. Foregrounding, stuff like that, where the things are close, you look bigger. So yeah, the lower part of the face will be looking large if the camera is looking up from below.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and it's not like a major factor, but just something.
No, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, I think like I think you mentioned it too, Coach. Like the towers or the adaptives, they'll push forward when they jut, but then they'll kind of be going backwards at the same time.
Yeah, he's
so
doing that picture on the right for sure.
yeah, like he's doing it with his chin, but then like it's hard for him to completely invest in the jut. So part of him is like kind of like a little bit moving backwards, and that's the back of his head, I think.
He's actually he's almost kind of doing a bit of a tilt back while jutting.
Yeah.
Who's this?
This is me, I think, right?
Yep.
Okay, this one's new. He was down as a Zhiny.
All right, so Nai John Hoyt. So Zhiny, you said.
Right.
All right, so Yeah, I'm looking at the picture on the right there. He looks like he's got that cunning signal coming from the eyes. It looks very piercing, and the emoting doesn't seem to be going up into the. It doesn't seem to be going up past the midline at all, especially not into the eyes. And the one on the left, it kind of almost seems like he's doing a lot of emoting there, and he is. But it's still, again, it's not going into the eyes. It's not even going into the cheek area. And the eyes, they still have that very piercing, cunning quality to them as well. And overall, he just seems to have more of like a tension quality that all directives naturally tend to have. But it's like a syncopated rhythm. And yeah, he doesn't seem to be calming like the way a Jaini would be calming.
That's a good point. You see one on the left, he sometimes does zany comedy. I think he has a lot of jai and does zany. So, that can sometimes be throwing, but you're right. It's not the same energy. It's zany, but not calming.
Yeah. Like I'm just looking.
Jared Rare can do the wildest, craziest stuff, and it's still calming. It's very interesting. Towers can do that. They can really like pump out like their articulator. It still has this unique signal being calming while zany. Now,
Yeah.
that's a classic example.
Like just comparing him to some of the other Jaini that have been covered. Like comparing him to just of the other Jaini that we covered. Like I'm noticing a stark contrast between the two energies.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep.
Easy.
Jivai William Zabka, have down Jinai. Pretty much we covered this already, just kind of mentioned his case. Sometimes the fitness bubble helped me. In his case, it was soap operas. He kind of, the soap opera Jivai males kind of helped me unlock him. Other than that, pretty same stuff covered.
Nicey Bruce White.
Same thing as the other guy, he was down Jaini.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do zany, but he did soulful a lot.
Mm-hmm. Like pensive.
Soulful tortured.
Torture, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ziny Susan Clark.
Down as Jaini. I think did we cover that already?
Yeah, we have.
Nizai Charles Robinson.
I think we covered female, but I don't know about male. He was down as Nai Z.
No.
Okay. Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean here I can see the like what really distinguishes it for me is like just the like how the emoting is just the Cheshire cat quality, essentially the emoting going off to the side when it gets to the midline, as opposed to continuously going up. And of course, if we compare to Nai Z, I mean they also don't have emoting that goes into the cheeks, but it isn't because it's Jai, like with an IZ, you would see like a downward pull to the emoting. And that's why it doesn't really quite have the Cheshire cat quality that Nizai has.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the eyes look distinctly cunning to me. They don't seem to have like a natural state, like boundary setting to them.
Does he know Nizai? Ben, he's Nizai, you know that, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that they don't have a natural state boundary setting to them. I'm saying that they don't have a cunning quality to them.
You might just cut it out a little bit.
Oh, so it sounded like I was saying he did? Okay. I was trying to say he didn't have those qualities. But yeah. So, yeah.
All right, this is Ziny Troy W. Slayton.
No, the Jaini ones.
All right, yeah.
Same here, Ziny, Charlie Dell.
Oh, interesting.
Same thing.
Ziny Frank Turner.
Nizai Jim Nabulach.
I forget what he was down.
Did I
I think
pronounce it right?
it was one of the ad ROMs. We covered those.
Nizy Jessica Steen.
I don't know if we covered this. She's Jaini. I mean, she was down Jaini.
Okay. Right. So we can see the Jai unaware mouth. So I guess the next thing we ask is like, is it going up past? Is it localized or is it like going into the cheeks? I don't really like. I don't see the quality of it going into the cheeks and the eyes. I mean, she is subjective. That's oftentimes why compared to shiny with Nizy can be confusing is because like a strong and important signal. But then you also see the subjective energy, and it's sort of it oftentimes makes it feel like it's reinforcing perhaps a thought process that says maybe she's shiny. But in the eyes, I mean, they do seem more cunning. They do seem more like more natural state. So more dissatisfied.
Oh, Nizai Joseph Marcel. Jaini, right?
That or Nijai, but one of the ad ROMs, yeah.
Right. Did we cover that?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
This is new. Nizai Richard Biggs. He was down as a Genii. He's in that riff, kind of like that one guy from Orphan Black, and that other guy, Michael De Lorenzo. The way they kind of do their game, it's a bit more, I don't say leading man is right, straight, a little more like a straight role, whereas Nizai tend to actually, even they play leads, and they often can play leads, but tends to be a bit more with a comedic vibe. He does not really use a lot of comedic maneuvers in the things I've seen him doing. Not that he can't do it, obviously, but he holds himself a bit more with that full G posture. He kind of sends out a lot of like G warmth and holds that in a way that's meant to be reassuring. There's a lot of emphasis on his riff of a reassuring use of G. But you can see the cheeks don't move. The smile goes sideways, the cheeks hardly move at all, and the eyes aren't just bright, they're gather bright, and as a part of that, there's an up energy. There's an up energy as compared to a forward. It's more up than forward.
He's got more of like a leading man kind of quality to him, like a naturally.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to use that word because Nizai often can play leads as well, but when they do, there tends to be a lot more use of comedy as part of them being the lead character. Whereas he doesn't. Even Will Smith, who's classic like leading man Nizai, he tends to be a bit more quippy as part of his swag. His swag has a lot of quippiness to it, but he doesn't use that much. Neither does De Lorenzo, or as far as I know, that guy from Orphan Black.
Yeah, leading man is more like a stereotypical directive Naiji, Jinai, Naizi kind of.
More serious, I guess. Where it's always like straight. They're more kind of. They don't. More straight drama, I'd say. More straight drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's me? No, that's actually you.
Me? She by Natalia Livingstone?
I think I had her down as probably Nizai.
Okay. So both the Jivai tend to, well, both the Jivai and Nizai are in soap operas, and they have that, both of them have Ji and are objective, so they'll have bright eyes. So I can see where you could switch those reads here. Though when you look at it, the emotiveness, that's the warmth that's radiating from the mouth, it's going all the way up, traveling all the way up her face, and it's also tinging her eyes with this warm quality as well. So she has that unified look that discernment leads have. This case with the warmth from the G. Again, the smile is aware, and the eyes have this density in the pupils that comes from the Vi, and the smile is going again upward, not sideways, like it would be for the Nizai, and I'll do it.
Shiny Andrew Lever?
Lauer?
Leo?
Down,
Flower? Yeah.
down Shiny.
Okay, sitting.
Yeah. Let's see it.
Same thing.
Ziny Frank Carlson.
And look there, that's not too. I was looking at the word for it. When I say this expression, I naturally lead towards Jai. I have to realize that both towers have this equally. Woe is me. that is a Xi, woe is me. You know what I mean? Both towers very much make signals of being woe is me, I'm doing groovy, alarmed, at ease. Those are actually separate from values-based, logic-based. That's an important distinction. So that's really separating these two modes is really helping me understand that. That's where it gets into like the difference between semantics and the phenomenon, because all semantics have certain little biases in the words and how each person kind of holds that word in their head. So, Louise, I love this work.
Right, Zaini Rabia Lamorte.
I think that was Jaini, we covered that. And she's kind of got that maneuver, kind of like, you know, it's like sweet. You know what I mean? She's kind of like a sweet at ease that I often associate with Xi Alpha. Jaini Danny Strong, I think I had him down as a Genii. Just his face is a little bit fuller, and the way he carries himself is a little more jockish, not really jockish, but it's a little more kind of swaggery. But there are fuller face Jaini, and actually Xi, wildness. There's a corollary between wildness and swagger. I'm looking forward to that in the future. They actually are counterpoints to each other, and so I have to kind of know that they're not like foreign. They're actually dichotomies. Because of that, sometimes I might think I'm looking at swagger, but that's actually wild. That's wildness.
Nizai and Robert.
I think that down as a Nizi.
Okay, I think we covered this.
I think because how squinty he is.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell?
My turn? Sorry, Jivi Sina Tugno?
Gina Tagnani?
Okay.
Yep. This is a new one, Mitchell. She was down in Shy V.
Jivi. Interesting. Okay, so you got Javez. What was she? Oh, she's soap opera. Yeah, most of the ladies there are probably the ads.
Some of that Jivi riff that kind of sort of mutes the pushy quality of being a director.
Yeah, I imagine the females do that quite often. But yeah, her head actually strikes me right off the bat actually as being the helmet head. Like it just has a very I don't know, sort of stocky-ish quality to it. I don't really, that might not be the best way of describing it, but she's not really, she's not doing a lot of like forceful emoting, but it does seem aware. Like in the picture on the left there, she's like holding it a little bit. It's got like a little bit of the vi tightness, and it's just sort of being like held, but like aware of being held, not like held like slack. It's not slack. It's like put in a position. She's like a light sort of smile while she sort of watches you with her vi eyes. Yeah, and her eyes are definitely vi. They don't have the playful like camera lens V. They don't really seem clear. They actually seem like the more vi.
Yeah.
What's the word we use?
Sussing or.
Yeah, but it's a really like compacted.
Oh yeah, dense quality.
Dense. That's it. Dense. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, and then she doesn't really even have that much. Like, I guess she has some, but like, she's pretty serious in both pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is.
Kind of like some of the Jivi really emphasize like the knee. She doesn't really seem like she's doing it that much to me. Like she looks pretty watchful and serious.
The vi poise is heavily influenced.
Yeah, vi poise. She really did a lot of vi. With the helmet head look.
Zaini Beth Ehlers.
I went back and forth with her between Jai V because of the tower and Ni Zai because of ad serve.
Okay. So with her, I do see the elongation of the face. The eyes, it definitely looks more like the, I guess the interpretive signal in the eyes is basically localized, so not like in a horizontal, vertical kind of way, but more like in terms of depth. It's more within and under the veil of unflappability that she has throughout her face. It doesn't seem like it's taking the dominant prominent presence on in her eyes in that area. It seems more like a presence. And the emoting, I mean, also definitely seems localized in a more like vertical way. I don't see it going into the cheeks at all. Now, of course, we're also comparing to Nizai, so the distinction there is I'm not really seeing it going into I guess, past the lip line. It doesn't look like Cheshire Cat to me, like as she's smiling. It seems much more like the emoting is stopping at the lip line area, despite the fact that she can do a significant amount of emoting. So.
Jivai Krishel Staus.
I'm not sure, but if I had to make a guess, probably Knee's Eye. So I guess we covered that already. So that'd be good. Start for the evening. Perfect timing.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right. So we have a little more to go here, but then the plan is that Ben will have the 1.0 available in the next couple weeks. So that'll be the transition over. And if there's any and there's any lag between that, we'll spend a session or two doing an Act 3 live read the whole time. So that'd be fun too.
Mhm.
All right, you're saying, Ben?
Oh yeah, I was saying I should be able to get this out really quickly because I'll be done with exams like in the next couple days. So
nice, very excited.
Freedom to finish it off.
I'm excited to actually, super excited for the sample server program. But I'm also excited to try at least one session where we actually do a whole stretch where we do live reads together. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah,
right.
that sounds like it'll be a lot of fun.
Definitely. And then Tuesday, we'll be finishing out Mojo reading. Exciting. All right, see you guys then.
Okay.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Nice. Have a good night. Good work.
Night.